Hezbollah has released what it says is its first video showing an anti-tank guided missile strike targeting an Israeli Merkava tank in the town of Talusa in southern Lebanon. The footage appears to show a direct hit on the armored vehicle near the border zone. The release marks a significant moment, signaling Hezbollah's renewed anti-armor operations in the south. Activity south of the Litani River suggests Hezbollah has re-established an operational footprint in southern Lebanon. Recent attacks involving rockets, drones, precision-guided missiles, and anti-tank strikes point to a restored level of command and control. The pattern indicates more than isolated incidents. On Tuesday alone, 13 attacks were reported in the border area. These included the reported disabling of 5 Israeli tanks using anti-tank missiles. The volume and variety of strikes suggest coordinated operations rather than sporadic engagements. Despite months of Israeli airstrikes and an ongoing Israeli military presence in parts of southern Lebanon, Hezbollah fighters appear to have reintegrated into the terrain collectively. The current tempo indicates the re-emergence of an operational network, capable of coordinating multiple forms of attack while maintaining a frontline posture. The timing is notable. Some launches coincided with Iranian strikes on Israel, reinforcing the perception that Hezbollah may once again be operating as part of the broader axis of resistance framework. The developments suggest interconnected theaters of activity. However, tactical resurgence does not necessarily mean strategic recovery. The key question is whether Hezbollah can sustain coordinated operations over time, and how it would perform in the event of a large-scale Israeli ground invasion into southern Lebanon. Has released dramatic new footage of fresh strikes on Israel. The video shows rocket launchers emblazoned with portraits of Ayatollah Khamenei, as the group claims responsibility for fresh attacks on Israeli military bases in northern Israel and the Golan Heights. The images come amid a sharp escalation across Israel's northern front. On Tuesday, Hezbollah fired long-range rockets toward central Israel, its first such strike since the start of the Iran war. Sirens blared across Tel Aviv and the Haifa region as 3 rockets were launched. Israel's air defenses intercepted 2 projectiles. 1 landed in an open area, causing no injuries, according to the Israeli Defense Forces. Within an hour, the IDF said it destroyed the launcher used in the attack. Hezbollah also fired dozens of rockets and several drones toward northern Israel. 1 rocket struck a home in a border community, injuring 1 person. The group said it was targeting Israeli military bases in response to what it called criminal Israeli aggression across Lebanese cities, including Beirut's southern suburbs. Hezbollah further claimed it shot down an Israeli drone and launched fire at Israeli Merkava tanks near the border villages of Kfar Shobah and Kfar Kila. The IDF confirmed its forces came under fire and said a Hezbollah operative who launched an anti-tank missile was killed in a retaliatory drone strike. Shortly after, the Israeli military announced it had begun what it described as a wave of attacks in southern Lebanon over the past 24 hours. Israeli forces say they have struck underground weapons depots and Hezbollah command infrastructure in Beirut. Israeli army spokesperson Avenge Adri issued a direct warning to residents in southern Lebanon, urging them to evacuate immediately and move north of the Litani River. He warned that any home used for military purposes could be targeted. The escalation comes as a leaked U.S. embassy cable reveals Israel had already raised alarm bells about Hezbollah before launching joint strikes on Iran. The internal assessment indicated Israeli officials doubted Lebanon's government or even serious new leadership could contain Hezbollah's growing military capabilities. The cable also highlighted Israeli concerns over increasing Turkish military entrenchment in Syria, describing it as a potential strategic threat along Israel's northern border. These revelations reportedly surfaced just days before joint U.S.-Israeli strikes killed Iran's leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a move that triggered retaliatory attacks across the region. Now, Hezbollah's renewed rocket campaign signals that the northern front is once again active, with rockets flying, airstrikes intensifying, and regional powers maneuvering behind the scenes. Tensions across Israel, Lebanon, and Syria are entering a volatile new phase. The situation remains fluid, and the risk of wider regional confrontation is growing by the hour. Hezbollah expands drone campaign. Hezbollah has expanded its drone campaign against Israeli military sites, announcing a series of coordinated aerial strikes at dawn on Tuesday. In official statements released early in the morning, the group confirmed it carried out 2 separate drone operations, targeting key Israeli military installations. The attacks, Hezbollah says, were in direct response to what it described as ongoing Israeli aggression against Lebanon. According to the statement, at approximately 6:30 a.m., a swarm of attack drones was launched toward the Marin base in northern Israel. The facility is known to serve as a critical hub for surveillance operations and the management of Israeli air activity. Hezbollah claims the drone strike successfully damaged one of the base's radar systems, along with a command building inside the installation. The group did not provide further details on the extent of the damage, and there has been no immediate, independent confirmation. Shortly after that announcement, Hezbollah issued a second statement, confirming another drone operation, this time targeting the Naffa base in the Golan Heights. The Naffa base serves as the headquarters of the Israeli military's 210th Brigade, which is deployed along the northern front. Hezbollah said the base was struck as part of its expanding response campaign. These 2 operations follow an earlier strike carried out earlier in the day. In that operation, Hezbollah said it deployed a swarm of drones, targeting radar sites and control rooms at the Ramat David Air Base in northern Israel. The group stated that radar facilities and command infrastructure were the focus of that earlier attack, emphasizing that the operation was aimed at military capabilities. In its statements, Hezbollah said all 3 drone operations were conducted in response to what it described as criminal Israeli aggression that targeted dozens of Lebanese cities and towns. The group specifically referenced strikes on Beirut's southern suburb among the incidents prompting retaliation. Hezbollah also pointed to what it described as continued Israeli escalation over the past 15 months, including assassinations, bombardment, and what it called systematic destruction. The group said such actions, in its words, cannot go unanswered. At the same time, Hezbollah stressed that its strikes were directed exclusively at military targets. The group drew a distinction between its operations and Israeli attacks, accusing Israel of striking civilian areas. Hezbollah's drone campaign is escalating, with multiple bases hit in rapid succession at dawn, signaling a sharp widening of hostilities. Tensions remain at a boiling point as cross-border attacks continue, with both sides trading fierce accusations over strikes on military and civilian targets, raising fears of further escalation.